Alrighty, hello every folks. Well, I mean, it's gonna take a second for the every folks, but for the folks that are watching the video right now, hello. Hang on, I'm gonna make sure that everything's all nice and set up over here. Currently don't know if it is quite working just yet, but we'll find that out in a moment. So yeah, this is, okay, so I probably should have started from the main menu here, but for those that, I would guess the majority of folks on the channel here didn't see, didn't see the video there. Basically, it's been pretty quiet on the channel lately because I haven't put any new Tactics Ogre stuff lately, so no one cares. But either way, this is a Spirited Thief. Like I said, I'm double checking to make sure that the actual thingy in the background here is working correctly, as we'll probably see by there it is. Looks like we got a UPS ad this time. Fantastic. Okay, so there we go. Seems to be functional, or allegedly is showing up. We'll go ahead and leave it as that. All right. Anyway, so this is Spirited Thief here. Basically, this is going to be a sort of like the way that I've been mentally describing it and describing it to folks in general has been like if Thief and Hitman got the sort of Steamworld Heist treatment. Where basically it's put in a different perspective, like in this case it's in a more kind of 2D type situation, but you're still doing a lot of the same stuff, namely, you know, going and casing the place out, figuring out where stuff is, figuring out how the traps work, how the alarms work and things like that, and then essentially trying to go and take absolutely everything of value in the place. So like this is partway through a investigation phase at the start of Chapter 2 there, where basically the two scouts here are trying to make sure that all of the actual doors work, trying to track down the expensive stuff that we need to get. So basically all the little bags are the little stuff that we need to get. Essentially anybody that's sleeping will be joining the patrols later. The keys are necessary to get through different locations, like you see these green doors over here. We'd have to go get that green key wherever it was. In order to open these, we need to have glyphs activated to go kind of mess with those there. To activate a lot or deactivate a lot of barriers. There are essentially candles here, and it's funny because in this one they actually introduced these sorceresses here, who are more or less providing security against ghosts, because as you're starting the game, you're apparently one of the only people using ghosts on your team here. Until suddenly it becomes very clear that this is a very useful thing, and so they're constantly casting slow on you, even if they can't see you, while also patrolling around these candles. Like I think it was that one. Okay, so that guy's fallen asleep while watching his candle, whereas some of the other ones are actively like really watching them. Like the one down there, there's just a guy that refuses to even move, but you can sneak in kind of under the table here. So there's that. Alright, so let me go ahead and see if chat is showing up at this point. See if we can get all of that stuff going. Come on, where's my live button? There's the live button. Why is it being weird? If there's any comments right now, basically, since this is in full screen, I gotta look at the comments on my phone, so it's not quite showing up to me yet. I'm trying to get it to... There it is. There it is. It exists. Alright. There we go. I have something to put this in. Let's go pop this sucker over here, I guess, and yeah, then we can go ahead and continue on here. Alright, so basically while you're in the scouting phase here, these ghosts, at least so far, can't actually die, but they do warp back as soon as they're discovered. So this essentially means that this is kind of well, this is the puzzle and scouting phase. So if anyone sees them, they're just kind of reset on progress, and you also lose some of your scouting data. So like you see, we forgot what's going on in this hallway. And yes, hi there, Anarchist. Yeah, it's a bit of an earlier one today. I wasn't sure that there would even be time for one today, but then yeah, it turns out there was. So that ended up working out somewhat nicely. Another thing that we're doing in this phase is kind of setting up. Just kind of setting up for the thing itself, like right over here, I left a resupply trap. Essentially, once the actual team gets inside, if they end up using, for example, all their flashbangs, this would end up refilling their stuff there. At least I think that's how that works. This is the first time I'm utilizing it. But in every one of these scouting phases, you need to be identifying where an exit is, how to kind of sort out all the puzzles before you get there, because as soon as the actual like heist itself starts, you only have in-game time. You have like a few seconds to get it done, more or less. I don't know if anyone could tell from the video earlier, but yeah, you're very limited in the amount of time that you have to get things done. As far as the sightline mechanics, the ghosts can basically warp between rooms, but as it stands right now, we don't have any good visual over here, and this is a double thick wall. So if we warp over here, we can see into this room right here, and then we can hopefully go through those doors over there in order to get into this area. That guard is currently facing the wall. He's probably about to get discovered. Anyway, he just got slowed down because, again, these guys are just randomly casting slow into the air, since they can't really tell where the ghosts are, but they are trying to do their security job as best they can, since this is, like, in-universe, basically a new threat that's just been discovered. So I'm assuming that they'll be a bit more active about all of their countermeasures in later maps, because it's been really cool to see that as you're going through the first chapter, you're actually seeing the guards adapt to the stuff that you brought along and whatnot. So either way, it's one of those. It's one of those. But yeah, let's see. Right now, I'm just trying to get into this area, but in order to get into this area, I have to get over here. Need to be able to see through that somehow. So I'm going to assume that maybe we can get by in this direction, maybe get a peek through one of these doors. Some things you can peek through, other things you can't. So like little windows you can peek through, these barriers, most of the time you can't peek through them. Let's see if we can... Alright, so that's over there. That's just identifying the switch to go open up, presumably, this door. So essentially that switch should open up this door, and then we have another lever if we wanted to close it. Like, every one of these maps just functions like a machine. So, like, as soon as you start, you're trying to lock people away into rooms, like, steal their keys and lock them away in a place that they can't get out, that kind of stuff. It's one of those kinds of things. Like, the usual kinds of, you know, kinds of crap that you can do in stealth games. It's just really fun to mess with. So, yeah, it's good times. It's good times. Also, just for the sake of double-checking, let me see if... There we go. Need to double-check if it's doing its thing where the chat doesn't show up, or if there just wasn't one yet. Actually, hold on. Let me check audio one second. I'm muting for just a moment. I'll be right back. Alrighty, and back. Okay. Sorry for the kind of delay there, just wanted to make sure that it was working. Okay, so currently the puzzle that we're at is basically just trying to figure out how on earth to get that last door activated. So somewhere along here, It isn't this thing, but there's something similar to it that should activate that final door. It might be something down there. It also might just be that these guys got amnesia and forgot about that particular location. So going to be going and checking that next. Probably going to be going through that little window over there. And we'll go and do that. And if you're wondering, yes, there's actually, even though the gimmick here is that these ghosts can't actually interact with the physical world, more or less, at least for the most part, there are actually ways that they can occasionally kill off some of the guards before getting properly started. So like, okay, we're just going to go ahead and hide back in here. So like, for example, there was little circly pads that were glowing on the left are teleporters that were introduced in this chapter, and so if you kind of lure somebody over onto one of those and teleport into them, you know, Xenonaut style, you can just kind of waste them that way. Potentially, there's also like those spike traps and whatever else. So again, if you just find somebody with traps, or you find a mechanical door or something, you can just smush somebody inside of a mechanical door. There's those options as well. So yeah. There's a lot of ways to potentially get stuff done, but for the most part, you're generally playing pretty pacifist. Alright, let's see. We're gonna go this way. We know there's spikes over there. I feel like this definitely has to be the area, but I'm not entirely sure how to get a line of sight to get inside. See, the thing is, we need to presumably activate a glyph somewhere to go get these doors open, but there isn't anything around here, at least as far as, like, it's gonna be right here, isn't it? Here I am, just missing. No, that's not it. Well, unless it's invisible, I guess. There are sometimes invisible ones. Although, then again, this one goes through a wall, so... Okay, we'll be checking into that one. There's a lot of, like, little details to pay attention to. Okay, that's gonna go poorly. Let's see, they're going that way. Going that way. You can make it inside here. This one's already activated, so that's not really going to help us much. Whatever, we'll deal with that when it happens. This seems like something you should be able to interact with somehow. Okay, we'll look into that in just a moment. Okay, yeah, they're definitely getting spotted. Oh, just barely not getting spotted. Okay, that works out. That candle's already put out down there. So the candles are what ends up controlling either doors or some other things sometimes. Essentially, they're just kind of barriers to keep people out. See, because, like, pattern-wise, it feels like it's definitely back here somehow, but I don't know how to make this open. Unless that goes to here. In which case, presumably, that's the thing that... No, that would be for some reinforced doors. Looks like there might be something over here. Although currently they're forgetting what's inside of there. The whole forgetting mechanic is kind of interesting. It kind of makes you re-scout certain areas. It's clever. Alright, let's see what we got here. Get some more of that stuff. It's gonna be right here, isn't it? Okay, never mind. I think I just found it. Let's see, that one's going that way, that one's going that way. Okay, they just got poofed. Fair enough, I guess. Kinda was. Alright. Anyway, so they'll end up forgetting a few tiles of something somewhere. But at least we know where to investigate now. So if we go back over this way, that'll open up that door, which we don't want open, so we'll circle back there in a moment. Just gonna have her re-explore these areas just in case I'm missing something as far as opening up another one of those little circly question mark things, because I think the other one is that I would assume they're either going to be down here, or it's that other circly one that I stepped on somewhere. I can't remember right now. Alright, whatever. Back to this guy. So, you do that one. Okay, so we know that corner's relatively safe. And if you're wondering about that little eyeball, basically that just means that we can do this thing to go mark somebody to keep kind of keep tabs on them for later. It's the same thing like if you've played MGS5, like the tracking ability that you got on Quiet and the dog. That's actually no wait, I think it might have been just Quiet that had it in that one. That's what you're looking at as far as the marking ability in this one. Works pretty much exactly the same way. Anyway, yeah, vision sight lines are very Metal Gear-esque, so if you're standing right next to somebody, as long as their vision cone doesn't technically touch you, you're safe. So like right here, we should be able to pull a cheeky diagonal into right there, and we should be safe. So we need to get to that window so we can peek inside. So he's going to stay right there. Let's see. If you're wondering about the plot, basically people are getting abducted at this point, and we're just gonna ruin their lives even further. Oh, that would be a spam call. Fantastic. Alrighty. Alright, so we just go through here, and there we go, there's the last one. Should do the job. I think I actually walked in here before and probably activated this thing, and yeah, probably just ended up missing the candle entirely. Oh well. Let's go in this direction a little bit and just kind of wait. Alright. So if we do this last thing, there we go, that's everything done, and now we can move on to the next phase. Yeah, that thing's already opened. What does this say? Just vault? Okay. So now we move on to the actual proper phase here. So, as of right now, there's kind of two tagalongs to pick between. Your main guy basically has a fairly wide suite of different options to pick from. These two are a bit more limited. In this case, both of them, I've been kind of cheap on their abilities because I want to buy their more expensive ones. But like in her case, she's mostly a flashbanger. So throws out a flashbang, knocks out a room, and can just basically run by. Limited uses of that, but can be really useful. In this case, this guy can swap places with somebody, knocking them out in the process. Has a cooldown, but can be reused indefinitely. I'm going to use her in this case. I already have a resupply set up. So actually, maybe I should use his knives. If we use... Okay, might as well use this. Not paid enough for this. The ghost is going to go on strike. I want to say it's a funny little detail, but I just really appreciate that that essentially her ribbon became her hands. It's just kind of funny. Anyway, moving on. Apparently, it. All right. And I'm assuming she. So the dialogue seems to change on a bunch of different things. Like who you bring along, what you do, what you've discovered up to that point, all that kind of stuff. But she particularly doesn't like the guy with the helmet, so I'm assuming that's why she's on strike. I don't know for sure. Technically, the last one is the one that she was specifically ordering not to bring him, but you still have the option to. But I mean, he wasn't exactly as useful as the one with flashbangs for that one anyway. But moving on. Okay, I'm just double checking something real quick. And yeah, if anyone's got any questions on how anything works, do let me know. I know it's a bit of an unknown one. Like I was saying earlier, like, basically, unless it's Tactics Ogre, people generally don't show up to stuff on this channel. So there's that, but I just wanted to at least show this one off a little bit here. Alright, so let's see which way we're going to go first. I'm assuming we're just going to go... Oh, the secret's on the other side. Of course it is. Okay. Alright, so that one's there. You're gonna go here. As of yet, we haven't really... Come to think of it, I've never tried this. I wonder if I can actually swap places with that dude right now. Boo. Alright, worth a shot. Basically, until you activate the starting alarm, your timer isn't going yet. So we've got that. See, here to just check out what this is. I mean, like it said in the thing, this is basically like strategy thief or Hitman kind of a deal, where you're doing a very similar thing, and in many cases you've got somewhat similar tools. Like, for example, if we were to here, let's switch over to you. Like, look over the abilities real quick. Like, you've got some thief, some hitman, some dishonored, all of that kind of thing. Your usual kind of thief arsenal, as well as a lot of extras, as far as the kinds of stuff that's available to you. I say dishonored and stuff like that. Like, you can put down a pet rat to go loot somebody. You know, you got a heavier blackjack or a lighter blackjack. So, like, this will put somebody out of commission for a couple turns. This will basically let them get up immediately, but it allows you to pass through their sight lines, more or less. Whereas this, like, something like an invisibility potion is going to be a one-time use thing that allows you to just get out of being in somebody's line of sight unexpectedly. Whereas something like the knife can kill somebody permanently, but you only get one, which you can restock those through some means or others. You got, like, glue traps, kill traps, a thing to just move faster. Here we got all of her stuff for the prep phase, like whether you're going and dropping down curses of different kinds. Like, this is the main thing I'm saving up for right now. Just basically puts down a trap that will cause everybody to either be slow, drunk, stuck to the ground, blinded, or stunned every time that the alarm phase gets worse. Because the way that they handle timing in this is as soon as you go into a map. Like I was saying earlier, you basically, like, in-game have a few seconds to get everything done. So the dinging in the background is just a bell going back and forth, and every time it dings, more and more alarms, more guards and stuff wake up. So you're trying to get as much done as possible pretty much immediately. It doesn't seem like my cup of tea, but it has good art. I mean, hell, stealth games aren't for everyone. That's fair. Like, this is a genre that generally doesn't get explored very often, which, like, as soon as I heard about it, like, I kid you not, I was sitting there playing some Metal Gear Acid 2 and watching the kiddos at the mall. They're like, well, do you think you might be interested in this thing? Like, well, what is it? I'm like, well, it's like a stealth strategy thing. Like, go on. That's exactly what I'm playing right now. And it's a genre that just never happens. So, yeah. It's a neat little thing. Again, you don't see too many stealth games, though there are still a decent number of them, like, enough to be its own genre. But then, like, stealth strategy just never comes up outside of, like... Typically, they're more tactical shooters that have stealth elements, you know? And in this case, it's a mostly... I mean, there are ways you can kill off guards and stuff, but the idea is to go and collect things, not necessarily to go take out particular people or whatever else. Anyway, let's see. Hi there, Vin. Let's see, Wild Caught Potato stream here. Didn't even know you could find streams like this in Platinus. Only speaking random OB64 encounter and loot quotes from Debonair. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, yeah, so this is the thing I was telling you about. Where, like, right here, we walked through the door. Every front door will have an alarm attached to it. So, at this point, we now have more or less a few seconds to just go and loot the entire place. So we've got... Basically, this whole thing is just like one big machine. So we got this bit opened up over here, so that's going to open up this one. We'll probably want to circle around here. We dropped a resupply over here. We're going to want to go through this door. We plain don't know what's behind this door because there was no way to get through it with the scouts. Some of these guys are going to be sleeping. There's only one loot bag, it looks like, over here. We want to get back here to open up these doors. To get back there, we need to get access to the library, which has a secret door over here, which means that, presumably, we got to warp in through here. So that's going to be wherever the now Twitter logo is. Here, let's see. Let's see, what's this one say? That one's to the vaults. We'll have you head over this way. We'll have you head over to, I'm going to assume this one's to the library. And then if you can sneak somebody onto the teleporters, you can take them out that way. Currently, we don't have that many keys, but I'm not seeing too many... Actually, wait, there are absolutely locked doors over here. Hold on. Let's see. Let's puzzle this out here real quick. So, red key is down there. It's guarded by a guy that basically doesn't move. So we also can't get down there without warping in there. If we warp in there... Let's see, we can get access through... Where the hell's the teleporter there? Okay, so even if we take the teleporter, we can't get out of it. We'd just basically be stuck. So we can't take the one to the vault. We're not going to have access to the green key for the moment, because you can't actually apparently do a perfect run in this one by collecting all the loot if you have the green key. I'm not sure why, but I'm guessing it's some kind of shortcut or something. You had a choice over which door to leave open. So if we go to the top right, we would need a blue key to get up there. The blue key is also already up there. But the warp, I don't know where the warp actually takes us. I guess right here, presumably. So we go here, we go forward. I would assume probably just drop the rat near his patrol point and get out. Actually, probably circle around, loot this guy, circle back. We can't actually get to the pressure plates yet. So our guy that can swap positions can probably swap with this. Actually, yeah, we can probably have them both go that way. Okay, so this will make sense in a second. But you go here. You go here, see what your odds are of going and getting that one done. You go right here, and you run over in this direction. So I'm thinking probably it's going to be... You go this way. You go ahead and swap with this guy. So now he's knocked unconscious and we can get his key. Alright, for the moment though, we're going to go forward here, see what this does. Okay, so that moves the... everything out of the way. That guy's going to be up at the end of his turn because his stuff is blinking, so you go right over here. Alright, he's up, but he went immediately back to sleep. Fantastic. So you can go get that key. In the meantime, I don't think there's any use in going that direction. And he's just going to go warp back as soon as done. So you wait one more turn. We've got 4 more turns until some of them start waking up. I'm doing this very slowly right now, but it is what it is. Actually, I think it might be better off to have him go run over to this thing. Alright. Actually, for that matter, how the hell do we even get out of here? Now that I think about it. Yeah, we would need to go to those traps anyway to get out of here. Okay. So. You run over here. That'll release those. You instead run down this way. By keeping him there, we actually are able to... we can leave it open. Or you just wait for the moment. I was thinking whether to skip with... to have them swap or not, because he's got an ability to swap between the two of them. Alright. What the hell's even in here? Alright. So that's just a candle. What does that give us? Maybe there... I'm assuming there was a way to potentially trick one of the guards into stepping on here to see this candle. Because he can't even interact with the candle. But, let's see. Grants an ability for every sort area detection. Find the position of the closest intruder in the room, if any. That does explain what they were doing earlier, because they always seem to they seem to deviate from their actual patrol route to go find the ghosts. So I'm assuming that's what was going on there then. Actually, you know what this is? I can pretty much tell you this is a replay feature right now. So there's certain features on maps that you start noticing are kind of there as a second run type of thing. So I'm assuming in this particular case, this is just here not because the ghosts could get here the first time, but simply because you could look over and... Oh, I guess we can actually deal with the candle. Whatever, we'll have to figure out a way to deal with that. Can you get to anywhere? Not really. At the very least, no, if he runs forward, he's just impaled on the spikes. Okay, wait 1 round. We have our main guy go step on the spikes. You go this way. That'll leave that path open. And we have the blue key, so, well... Yeah, we have the blue key, so we can get out of here now. So you run this way. You run this way. Actually, I completely forgot that there's actually a little bit of a grace period. Okay. Alright, and then you sneak behind this guy, who's currently still a little bit drowsy. Alright, so he's awake. We're getting out of here just in time for the moment. That one's still there mumbling to themselves, but now that we have the blue key, what does that open up here? So it gives us some library access. We can potentially go through here, go through this door. This is basically what we're after. That's the main thing that we're after, but we need to go and steal some other stuff of worth along the way. I'm assuming since this bag isn't moving, that's going to be a guard that's sleeping, so we're going to go ahead and use this one real quick. That's not where I thought that was going to go. Okay. We'll figure that out. Alright. But yeah, this is... So, this is one of those games that I've just been really loving as a kind of end-of-the-day thing. It's like you come back, you sort of puzzle out a map, you figure out, figure out how to get through it, and, you know, then figure out another one, and that's not going to work out. Okay, well, let's try that again without accidentally killing our guy. So you get 3 retries per attempt. So, like, I know it probably seemed in the kind of preview thing that I was doing that you could just infinitely restart whatever, you know, go full casual mode with it. I'm pretty sure, well, not pretty sure. Basically, you have a few attempts to get it done, and then you go from there. Okay. So we're gonna go here, and then it looks like this should be out of their patrol route. So I want to try and get in there and get that book. It's kind of while we're here. So you're gonna go this way. It doesn't seem like they want to look into that room very much. Thankfully, they aren't that sensitive to light and things, at least not yet. So. Deal with that as it happens. You know, I spoke way too soon there, but, I'll just, bonk. That's why he's got the club. Alright, then you go over here, and then we'll go ahead and loot that chest while we're here. Once we get the green key, we can come back and turn off that, slow aura that they've got. Basically, every few rounds, the sorceresses will slow down whoever's nearby, which is, annoying. Let's go here. I think there was, like, a secret lever or something up here. But we need to get through those other doors. But this is going to give us a little bit of an escape route. Let me see. Nothing on these. So he's going to be going there next. You're going to go here. That gives us a little bit of an opening to go get through that door. Alright, the one down there is still sleeping. We can't get through this door. Basically, that's a green door, that's a lever door. To get to the lever door, we need one of these. To get to that one, we need something else. But either way, we can't do much with it right now. Alright, he's going to go here to try to get some sight on the guards. That guy over there is still kind of keeping an eye out on that teleporter. Let's see if he can figure out where we went. Okay. Alright. I think we're just going to stack them both over here and give it a turn for that one to turn around. I should probably mention line of sight. You can peek through keyholes and doors and stuff like that. That's why we can see somewhat into the other rooms there. And that guard is probably going to be a bit of a problem for us. He's going back and forth. This is... yeah, he can hide right here. And then we also need up here. This should be where there's that lever. So you can go right here. Oh yeah, so I should probably mention, so the reason that there were no streams last week or the beginning of this week or anything along those lines, it basically is just because I was working on my car. The water pump had blown out, which created this, we're just going to go ahead and call it one hell of a headache over the course of the next week. It was a pain in the neck, and took a very long time to fix, and then on top of that the kiddos got sick, so it's been a week and a half like that, so, yeah. In case anyone was wondering, that is exactly what the deal was there. Now, can you open this somehow, or what? Because there's... how does this work, then? Because we gotta get back there. How the hell do we get back there, though? So there's hidden switches of plenty. I guess we gotta get to this thing, then. So, in order to get to that thing... we gotta blow out this thing. In order to blow out this thing... I'm not sure. I think since this is a first run, we're just gonna focus on getting it done, and then... kind of go from there. Although they're starting to patrol other locations, so you're gonna go ahead and take a weird side thing over here. See, can't up what life happens? Yeah, it was very lifelike. I mean, basically, I was out doing deliveries and such, and suddenly the thing starts blowing smoke everywhere. Well, steam, it turns out. There we go, I found the button. So it starts blowing steam everywhere. I was thinking like, oh crap, the engine finally died after I've been overworking this thing for God knows how long now. Where can you actually go? I think we're going to have to use our second of 3 rewinds here. But anyway, so yeah, water pump breaks, and then after the water pump breaks, it turned out that a bunch of other stuff broke too. So after I limped the car back home, I'm trying to figure out what went wrong, and it turns out that particular model, like, normally to get a water pump replaced, you just remove a few bolts, like 6 or 7 bolts, and you get the new one in there, and it's kind of a pain in the neck to reach, but that's about it. In that particular case, for that particular year, because of course, it wound up being a bit of a different situation where where essentially that one required the entire... it needed the pulley taken off of the engine, which basically was connected to a belt to the pump itself, which required disassembling the entire, like, all the tubing on the right side of the stupid thing, which was a bit of a pain in the neck in itself, but it did also bring to light the fact that it wasn't just the water pump that broke, but essentially the belt that it had been connected to when it had seized had blown off chunks all over the dang place. So it just why did I go back there? Okay, you need to go pull more levers. So it had basically gone and blown apart one of the radiator hoses. There was another one kind of on the opposite side. There was this little, like, T-connection thing that, of course, is made of plastic, naturally. Why wouldn't we make this thing that's under constant stress out of plastic? But it had a bit of an unfortunate situation where it just basically had more or less completely shattered. So that thing was surprisingly difficult to actually replace. I think it was probably the most painful part of all of it, because you're there with, like, 2 sets of pliers and some vice grips, trying to figure out how to reach around several bits of the engine that'll basically break the car permanently if you touch them. So yeah, was not a fun time, but once all was said and done, it was done. I have to say, there were very many kind of heartbreaking moments, because at first I thought it was just the belt, and then I replaced the belt, and then it starts shooting more smoke as the wheel that the water pump is connected to is just too messed up and can't even spin anymore. So it starts just shredding apart that belt. So after that, I had, took it all apart again, take the water pump almost off, and then the last 2 bolts need that pulley in the way, and anyway, so finally go get a tool for that. get it all well and taken care of. And then thinking that, hey, maybe that was finally it. It wasn't. You know, that's when those hoses end up coming up, and just the bill keeps racking up and racking up and racking up. But on the plus side, in total, the mechanic was asking for something to the tune of like, what was it? They wanted 500 for the pump itself, and then it probably would have been another 100 for each of the hoses and such. So either way, you know, saved some there, so that's nice. So what's this? So I was working on soporifics. Not a good sign. Well, okay, if you say so. Just so you know, if you do optional objectives in a lot of these areas, you get additional stuff for your people, so yeah, that's just kind of generally a good thing to do. I don't know if a perfect run is still possible for this, but we're going to try. Right now, I keep getting found out by this guy. It's a bit of a bummer, because all I need to do is run right there. If I run here, there's a chance he'll just immediately run by, and neither of them will be able to see him as he's hiding in this hallway. Actually, especially if we do this. Alright, so we knock that one out. Hopefully he just runs by, he can't figure out what's going on, and then we can hopefully go walk up to that warp pad. See, sick cars and sick kids are both very time-intensive. Car is about 33 years old now. Every time something goes wrong, I dread finding the parts to fix it. Been lucky so far. I mean, it's got to be a classic if it's sticking around that dang long. Although, on the plus side, from what I've heard, at least the fixes are a bit more obvious on the older ones. At least that's what my brother's always going on about. Like, every time he goes and fixes something on one of his, it's always something along the lines of, you know, like, yeah, it was a pain in the neck to find this part, but this is a fix that I know is going to last, you know, for years or something. So, fair enough. Alright, so, now that we've got that key and everything else, I'm thinking our next goal is to get down there and find that red key so that we can get access to a few more areas. Bit of a bummer about not being able to use that green key at all. I don't think there's any way to switch it, because only the ghosts can switch those. And I don't know if there's any way to, like, long distance blow out this candle. But as far as I can tell, disabling the sorceress's abilities is not going to be part of this phase. So, I don't know. I mean, I say that after immediately going in here and... Anyway. It's okay, it's almost like I don't know how this game works yet. Alright, so that guy's gonna go that way. Before they get hyper-aggressive, I should probably go down here and loot this thing. But I do know for a fact that these guys can't seem to interact with the glyphs, so we probably wouldn't be able to get access to some of those other parts, and now's when they're gonna start getting hyper-aggressive. As you see right there. Okay, that worked out barely. But if he goes right here... Let's see. He's almost certainly spotted if he goes there. If he goes here, though, he might be safe. Okay, bit of a gamble, but that worked out. Loot this. Blow this. And that gets us back over here. Done everything we need to over there. He needs to get over to this door if he can somehow. They're actively going out of their patrols right now to go look through other areas. So, next goal then is going to be this malachite down here. So we just blew out the thing that let us open this up. We need to get the red key from down here. So we've got this guy sneaking over here. He goes through this direction, goes through this door, goes around here, picks up red key. We need to have the other guy going around this way then. Which means that we take him to the vault. So his next job is going to be to run down to the bottom right one that we couldn't get out of. He's going to take this to the vault. He's going to put down his rat just in case any one of these guys wants to get looted by it. Actually, he's got 2 goals. He needs to go grab this. This is going to have 2 patrols over here. It was a bit of a pain in the neck before. It's probably even more so now. We've got that one, and then we've got these 3 over here, and then just escape. Although the escape is oftentimes the hardest part. So, first order of business, let's get him over to vaguely that direction. I didn't see that other guy down there. Or other lady, I should say. Alright, hopefully they decide to stay a minute. They're going out of their way to go the other direction. I don't know if there's any better direction for him to go. Alright. Let's see, it's a 1990 Nissan S40SX. So very pretty, but it was also not built for the mountains of Colorado. Made the mistake of asking about Reborn challenge ideas on GameFAQs, where a challenge run is apparently don't use any shamans. I don't know why people are so freaking obsessed about shamans. Like, there's so many things that can do the same thing. Like, no, it's just gotta be shamans, bro. Like, why? They're okay, but like, they're really not that great. Anyway, so let's focus on the key. I can already tell you perfect run isn't going to be possible because we need both people over here, and they're too aggressive for that right now. Ooh, that will be handy though. So that bell will allow for delaying their absolute alarm lunacy for a second. Right, if he sits right here. Okay, they'll reactivate, or they'll re-drop the traps, so we're gonna have one that's blocking the traps. I don't think it's gonna be... It might still be possible to get through them. As long as this bottom one gets out of the way, he's gonna be fine right there. And that takes care of that problem, too. They accidentally got turned into Kool-Aid. Shoot. Okay. Still possible. He's just got to get behind the dummy back here. Or actually, even through this doorway would be better. Alright, let's see. Alright, so we're down on 4 right now. Not going on 5. They've got guards going everywhere, which is... Oh, shoot, that also means the key ran away. Crap. That's a problem. So potentially one solution to that would be to leave the ratty over by that wizard sooner, but you can't really get down here that much sooner. And also that one's not sleeping, so I don't know. We'll figure out the specifics. Anyway, you go here. Shoot. I mean, that might be that. We've got 1 rewind left. We'll see how that works out. Actually, there is a way to handle this. Hold on. Actually, this might be surprisingly genius. Here. Do this. Oh, never mind. What I was thinking is we... it was basically a body swap to go get him over there. Because if you're sighted, the next action that you do will get you shot. Now, what I was thinking is that it would count as a free action, so I was trying to warp him over there in order to get him. Well, hopefully his thing right here is a swap position thing. So basically, he body swaps with the other person, and then he goes and body swaps again. In order to knock them unconscious and then run up and steal the key, you know? Right, what the hell do we do with him now, though? Because he's kind of stuck in a place he can't leave. I guess... Well, I mean, I guess his next order is to go... run straight for that door, then. Because if we can get that red key, like if we can drop a ratty in front of him or something, then can go pick up the key. He'll be locked out of going back. None of the others should be able to follow him. That should be that. let's see. I find the 2 units I want for a full playthrough are Terror Knights and Beast Tamers. If I got Gremlin Familiars earlier, I might not use the Terror Knight. See, personally, I still prefer the Terror Knights in that one just because they're so much easier to kind of apply fear in multiple directions, you know? Alright, let's see. By the time I have Shaman, I have Matriarchs and Liches and Lords and Princes anyway, but early game, can something. I think it's open there. And debuff lobbers make life so much easier. Yeah, like, that's the thing. It's always... I feel like a lot of that obsession for those classes just legitimately only came down to, like, well, this technically has higher DPS, but then at the same time, it's like, but your actual DPS comes from, you know, debuffs and stacking things and whatever else, what have you. Instead, it's just like, no, I need the better starting number, and if it's better starting number, that means it's the better overall number. Like, no, it's just where you started. It's like, yeah, technically speaking, if you think about it, a knife has incredibly good DPS, but you give a car some momentum, I'm pretty sure it's going to do better. Also, crap, I think I might have just thrown the entire thing. Where are you going? Okay. We might be in a bit of a weird spot right now, so... Unfortunately, got spotted. Also, the person with the key is over there. Every part of this is going more than a little haywire. Alright, so they know that he's over there. They're gonna actively seek out over there. I need... We're gonna drop Ratty just in case the key person decides to run through. But he literally can't even move without dying right now. This one's just gonna have to run this way and hope to be able to hide. What's a good spot for you? Maybe here? I want to save the blackjack just for emergency situations. Okay. He technically took a diagonal, so the rat didn't get him. Although, if this works out like I think it is, that actually gives us a perfect opportunity here. So you go here. Pickpocket the key. And they're actually about to leave that way. Okay. This also means the person with our ledger here. So we've got one patrol going down, one going the other way. If... Is there any way to get that green key, though? I'm sure there's, like, some... I know how you're supposed to get the green key. One of the guys has a... This guy, actually, has a throwing hook. I just didn't buy it. Alright, let's see. Oh. Same comments as before. Okay. So either way, we got the key. I'm going to have him lay low right there, just because, again, they're already leaving the room. Those ones are alerted and they're moving around. The question is, what the hell do we do with this guy? Because there's... I mean, I guess there's technically an escape through this way. I guess they are distracted in this direction right now. I'll give it a shot. So next turn we should be able to go through that teleporter. Since Perfect Run's kind of off the table on account of... is it actually, though? It's kind of off the table, I guess. Okay, so we're right there. We need to get down there. The question is, why the hell did it take us here instead of there? Unless that was the wrong one. Yeah, it says this is the vault. No rewinds left. So I don't know if this will actually be a safe thing. Like, that guy is patrolling that way. I don't know if he's about to turn around. I hope not. Crap. Well, I know I've said it before, but that might be that. Yeah, most of the guards seem to be running off that way to where we were. Alright. In their panic running around, some of them impaled each other on the spikes, which will happen. And crap. Yep, definitely threw it there. Threw it at the last minute. Alright. Let's go ahead and start that again. So. Two things. First of all, go and, I guess, buy your hook then. Or no, your hook is $350. We can't afford that. Actually didn't mean to... Okay, whatever. Alright. It's actually supposed to be saying what those abilities are. I don't know what I did that I turned off those prompts. Alright. Now, in his case, the rat is helpful for certain situations, not for others. I'm kind of thinking to replace the ratty with the knife, because we already have the... Yeah, we already have the other one set up, so... Anyway. So now if we know that we're actually going to be going that way, I wonder if there's anything different that we can do. Maybe we go for that one first, in which case... Yeah, you're gonna wait one more round. And I think what we're going to do is we're just going to go loot this stuff before it's a problem. So, you go down here, and then you go collect the red key in the meantime. And this time we know that that guy's going to circle back. That's what got us last time. You circle here and get a better view of the situation. Yeah, it should be safe right now because they're on stable patrols. Alright, that one's just currently watching the door. She hasn't realized that the alarm is rung yet, so we need to go take our long way around here. By the way, I should probably mention, as far as like Tactics Ogre type stuff and whatever, the plan is to actually start a series pretty soon here. That one that I was talking about earlier, to go and do basically a sort of compare through type situation for all of the different Tactics Ogres. So either way, I have that partially set up to go. Shank. Alright. You get that, and then you move right there. Now, this situation also surprisingly has a fix, because we go over here, we set the current alarm. Go ahead and knock this guy out. This guy should be able to run down here, knock this guy unconscious. And then we just kind of wait where he is, because he has to run down there to the bottom. Now, was the actual knocking him unconscious part strictly necessary? Not really, that was just for fun. Anyway, just go ahead and burn both your abilities, screw it. So you don't have a key yet. And you've got a few different problems to deal with. So if we sneak in right here, he should run by to go investigate. Unfortunately, both his abilities are on cooldown right now. Shoot. Alright, that would be death. This wouldn't be. Hopefully he's just gonna barely sneak by there. There's a bit of a dead spot that we noticed down here earlier, so he's gonna sneak down in that direction. And then hopefully once this guy is done dancing with a guard, he should be able to go and body swap with the wizard down there. That's the hope, anyway. So, hi there, Blake. See, music is great. The sole reason I got interested in this title after the video is because you named it Steal from the Ranch. Sounds like a great idea for a playthrough. A lot of little details changed between versions that would be missed otherwise. Yeah, and it's one that I've been meaning to do for a while, and, you know, the usual life, keeps doing life stuff, and then I get a stupid idea in my head, like, hey, you know, it'd be a great idea? Go ahead and ditch everything in order to go do a level 0 right now. There's just always something. Alright, so currently we haven't burned any of our redos, and we bought a little bit of extra time with that alarm. His body swap is available next round. I'm gonna give it one more turn of meandering here, because that guy's just freaking out trying to figure out where the hell we went. Alright. Now we body swap. And we go right here. So that should block his vision. Shoot, this guy can't move right now because the patrol is facing the wrong way. Kind of screws up my timing there. I'm an idiot. I forgot to actually grab the key from the guy. There we go. That might be a bit of an important detail. Anyway, sneak on into the vault, get our stuff. That candle's already snuffed out. And then that's one of the two main things that we need to get done. Alright, and sneak back here. Alright, sir, have you ever considered punching a wizard? The animations are so freaking satisfying, I just gotta say. I mean, whoever did both of the sounds and animations did a good job of doing a lot with a little, you know? Let's see, good as fear is, I think my plan to use units I didn't, I think my plan is to use units I didn't use the first time. But Cyclops AoE stun plus Warrior's Vigorous Assault breaches create a similar effect on the field. Yep. Like, if there was a way to get Cyclops much earlier, they would definitely be something you'd probably see around more often. Let's see, I'm at 202 hours of PSP lucked playthrough, treasure hunting, and POTD, and still have PG and San Bronze to go through. It's so comically weird that I have one extremely strong weapon is just, dang it. I don't know why they put this little heart icon and I can't friggin' read what it says. See, it's just on a skelly in a corner. Yeah. That's one of those things, like, that they really, really improved on in Reborn. Like, why I always get bugged by whenever you see reviews like, oh man, they didn't change anything to improve anything. Oh, my grind. Like, my god, man, you do not remember what the PSP version was like. Like, I love it to pieces, but Christ, some of the stuff there was, for those that never played the two, I know I tell the story a lot, but, like, imagine a situation where you hear somebody saying that there was no improvement, right? And so the situation in question essentially involves, like, if you wanted to go get, let's say, one of the Wind God weapons. It's like, oh, did you remember to go, like, 90 floors or so into this dungeon, and then did you remember to kill off this one flesh golem over here, and then exercise them multiple times to see if they ended up dropping a bag, because they had, like, a friggin', like, 5-something% chance to go drop a bag that might be that item. And they were the only one in the entire game out of hundreds of maps, and they only sometimes spawned to see if that item was there. And if you didn't get it, you were redoing all those 90 floors, whatever, up to that point. But yeah, like, no guys, no improvements. Alright, do we go for the... I don't know if collecting all keys counts for a perfect run. I actually never checked that. I guess technically there's still the opportunity for now, because that other guy's dead, so... Alright, let's go here. I don't know where this guy's patrol route is going right now, so... Actually, perfect run isn't possible, because we need to get both people over here, and this place is going to be completely swarming by then. That's fine. We're just gonna get what we need to get and get out. In his case, if that just kind of happens to involve collecting this thing along the way, that's not a problem. My god, that's a lot of arrows. It's fine, guys. It's fine. Situation's under control. Okay. Do we risk it? Yes. Risk it anyway, dang it. Because at this point we need to go get the other key to get through the other section. Pick up the book, then get out. And that'll be that for this one. It won't be a perfect run, but it'll be pretty well close. At least at this point, many of their reinforcements can't actually get out of this zone. So a lot of them are probably going to be congregating. Alright, if you hide right here and then take an awkward corner on the next turn, that should be good. Actually, I probably should have used the body swap and then snuck out to this box right here. Whatever, he's going to have to do it this way for now. Punch you... Alright, we might need to use the punch in a moment. Let's see, there's a bunch of extremely odd quirks, and... uh-oh, who got discovered? See, a bunch of extremely odd quirks, and the ogre set farming is just cruel, dropping gear from the lich, and not a one guaranteed drop. Save states are saving my life. Yeah, and... the way that they read it in Reborn, for context, for those unaware, is basically a lot of those same items with only a few exceptions. They just put, like, 20 of them in a location. So instead of being like, you gotta go... You're trying to go get the Euros, and so you need that one guy in that one place that you'll probably not even see a spawn of, which is where you get those stories of somebody playing through and never getting a single, you know, relic-type item, you know, despite hundreds of maps. So instead you've got... Instead, you've got these situations where you'll go in and just, like, you'll get multiple copies of things like crafting recipes or whatever else, just because they're absolutely prolific. Like, they're just all over the dang place. Alright, I'm thinking there's a small chance to sneak this crap right now. Like, technically he's spotted. I don't think that guy's enraged, though. So enraged just means that they shoot on sight. So as long as they're just surprised and they're not actually in shoot on sight mode, this is why it becomes near impossible once you kind of get going later. Crap, where was that blue key? Oh, shoot, the blue key's way over there. Alright, buddy. Alright. Well, I mean, if they're all storming out there, you can always punch a wizard again. in his case, we just need to go over here. We can get up to the door at least, relatively safely, but getting that blue key right now is... I mean, that was a two-person effort last time. Question is, will he be blocked if he... I was really hoping to use that body swap as a emergency get out of oh crap card. Only way I can figure that this maybe works is if we body swap with this guy now. And maybe they just don't see that and they explored the wrong location. Okay, well, a different guy saw us, but maybe we can sneak in some other direction now. Dang it, they are going to be swarming, though. Alright, back to the original plan. We're going to go run the other direction. Oh boy, we're not going to get in this friggin' thing ever. I'm hoping what'll happen here is he gets spotted, we quickly pickpocket him, and just run around the corner. And maybe that causes them to just leave. Alright. Just go hide in this corner for now. And hopefully the guards are all too distracted looking in that direction that they just ignore the door from the other side or something. I don't know, we'll figure that out. Let's see, yet to use a rogue, there's many classes I'm leaving for later builds. Yeah, one thing you'll notice about rogues in PSP is they work a lot differently. They kind of stacked a bunch of mechanics that they... It was like they sort of showed up on a weekend one day and they're like, you know, this might be cool, and this might be cool, and this might be cool, and then they just sort of like half-finished a lot of the mechanics about it. Which, don't get me wrong, they're still fun to use, but just so you know, if they seem a little weird, that's why. Because they're like the backstabbing specialist, but the backstab is kind of a one-off mechanic, or they got the stealing mechanic, which basically has nothing good in its drop table outside of like one item from one guy in the Fromp Wildwood, and other than that, it's mostly like low-tier crafting components and or stuff that minorly saves you some time if you rank it up long enough, which will have taken you far more time than just doing the original thing. Or traps, which exist. And that's about all there is to say on that. You know, this might actually be possible. This guy's line of sight should cut off right there. He's just charging through. The other guy's just running up vaguely in that direction, so we use the punch on him. He should be relatively safe right there for the moment. Alright, let's see. Wondering what happens when you use an Ogre Blade on a Lich on Denim. Does that work? Can you de-level an individual character using Body Snatch even if the class is maxed out? Kinda, though. You can already... In PSP, you can already de-level somebody whenever you want by just switching them to a different class, so... I mean, they keep their base stats and they keep their skills, so very quickly you can see how that can become pretty busted. And when I say they keep their base stats, basically everyone's got two different stacks of stats. One third of their kind of power potential comes from their class stats, which is usually the one that gets paid attention to. The other one is from their base stats, which is basically they start off with like 20-ish, I think it was, like 20 to 30-ish, and then that goes up goes up over the course of the game, maxes out at 100. That's typically the second third. Those are the ones where if you've ever heard somebody to say to swap somebody between several different classes, and they'll become super overpowered, that's why. Because every time that they're leveling up, they're getting all those base stat increases, which means that every time you de-level them again, they're a little bit better. And then their skills are usually going to be the one that ends up being the most noticeable, because it just directly gives you a penetration bonus and stuff. Let's see, sorry for derailing the stream. Well, it was, we're pretending it was on rails to begin with. Let's see. They're just marching. If we... This might be a terrible idea. Wait, what? For a second there, I thought we could body snatch with that statue. Okay, I don't see anyone patrolling this way. So, body swap that guy. Don't fire. Anyway. So we're not going to go about it that way. Okay, well, okay, we know that this guy's already patrolling out of the way. I misread this earlier. So if they're all patrolling out there, then he's probably safe to hang out right here and then just follow them out. So like, I love how they did this, where a couple maps ago, they introduced the fact that you could create a big distraction for everybody to run out. And that's exactly what's going on here. Beard scratching ASMR. Well, I apologize. Wasn't sure that would pick it up. The last mic didn't pick it up. This one apparently does. Let's see, who steals equipment with the rune fencer next to the rogue saying this does? Yep, because, yeah, recruit is how you actually steal your equipment in TO. It's weird, but that's how it does. Ah, shoot. Alright, well, that's not going to work. Alright. Might have a plan there. It might just completely backfire. But we got what felt like the more difficult part done first. Though I'm feeling like the eventual goal here will just be get the blue key guy first. I mean, given where he's patrolling right now, there is a non-zero chance he just gets himself killed. Actually, it seems like the easiest way to handle that whole situation is actually just to drop the ratty right next to him. And, well, I guess at that point we might as well just grab the key. Or just even drop a rat in that hallway and leave. Because then by the time he starts patrolling, the rat will have already stolen the key and got it back to us somehow. Alright, we punch that guy. And then run through here. If the window is working like I think it's working, we might be screwed, actually. Although if we body swap with that guy, we're actually safe. Or not. Okay. Yeah, that's a checkmate situation. There's no getting out of that one. I'm assuming there's some skills that can or something down the road, but yeah. Alright. How do we deal with this? Because they're already out investigating everything. Beat this guy with a stick just for being a dick, I guess. We'll go ahead and use that portal to run away. Yeah, I'm thinking that that green key would be helping out so much right now. This whole time we keep talking about how we're gonna do it without that key. And, like, if we had that, it's just as simple as go through one of these doors and just bail. Okay. Alright, why don't you just hold tight for just a moment? if this will work. So he can't punch while he's been seen, man. This guy's boxing career would suck. Alright, well, if they're investigating that direction, maybe they won't bother looking at the corner. That gives us that to deal with, at least. Let's see if he goes here, see if anything he can actually help with in this situation. Like, if we had the green key, we could use the secret tunnel out of here. Because there's basically an easier route that you use both these tiles to open up this door. You go through here, you turn off their slow ability, you open the triangle thing, and then you just sneak on out of there. I'm thinking he's going to have to start working on his own blue key while all of that situation's going on. Awesome. Yeah. Everything is fine. This is totally under control and everything's going great. Alright. Save the blackjack. Don't hit that guy for once. I guess go over here slightly. Because they don't seem to bother looking over this table at all. At least not for now. They know where we are, unfortunately, which is why they... Well, actually, no, we turned off their tracking, so they don't necessarily know exactly where we are. We're gonna go right there. I was trying to puzzle out how the hell to get out of this situation, then. Outside of the green key, like every time I circle around to one of those locations, there's just more guards. The opportunity that I keep kind of looking for is to be able to punch one of them, body swap with another, and then just kind of run by them, you know? And I'm almost wondering if we can body swap through the bars here to go get to this dude, which would be a far easier to escape, actually. It's worth a shot. I'm gonna try that. Though I've yet to be able to even get that far, unfortunately. Especially because they seem to be... Well, they're not only doing that, but they're also covering their patrols pretty well. Okay. Let's... Shoot. Actually, this works out pretty well. Looks like the blue key's coming to us. Yeah, those two are patrolling right there. You go right there. I'm not sure if this box plan will work, but there's not too many other options to potentially salvage this. Let's see, the other thing I missed from Lucked is the cursed bow being two-handed, but usable by... There we go. That should be better. I just noticed, I don't know how long I've had him muted. My bad on that one. Anyway, so now he can go pick up that other thing. So this guy's only focus is to escape now. Come on. Give me an opening. Just sit tight. Let's kill off one of their guys. Let's see, what if you run out of classes to level up, though. Don't want to have endgame burnout kind of deal with the save file. It'd be nice for the leveling to be like Reborn and individualized. I mean, that's why people were asking that as one of the big changes for Reborn, and then, you know, got it, and they're like, oh my goodness, I can't do the class thing anymore, because people are going to be people like that. Alright. So, let's see. That one's facing down. Probably going to patrol around. And we've still got this one up there. I'm thinking probably here might be the safest bet. Huh. Might actually get away with this. Okay. So, that guy's... Can we target you with this? No. So, theoretically... Is he slowed down right now? I don't know. If we punch him... That actually might work. Fire, because he shouldn't. It doesn't look like he's one of the fire on sight guys. Don't. Alright, can you run a diagonal? Yes. You do still have some movement range. Alright, so you get ready to just leave. Because I guess this guy's just handling the entire heist by himself. And yes, I know they've got names. Shoot. Not again. Okay. Okay, now they shoot on sight, which basically means we're almost out of time here. If we go here, there's a small chance that this will be good enough. As we go here, the one that's facing forward shouldn't be able to see it by the side of this bookshelf. It's like the last chance for this to somehow work out well. I'm just going to hide this guy over here so that he's not getting accidentally taken out. Yeah, needed to get that blue key a bit faster. But yeah, so that's what this game's about, basically. So yeah, I mean, as far as strategy games and things go, obviously definitions are going to vary. But as far as I'm concerned, this is still a team strategy game, but it's the of the stealth variety. So I personally have found this just really darn fun as far as just being a puzzler and all that. But yeah, to each their own. What do we got over here? Defeat bad? Well, yeah. I mean, it happens. I'm still figuring this one out. Thing is, we probably should have gone for the blue key first. And as I mentioned in the review, this is one of those ones that you kind of you puzzle out the pieces as you go. There's probably not even much of a reason for me to go for that particular thing. There's a bunch of optional objectives and things. If we're just looking to beat it, then don't necessarily need to go through all those steps. His body swapping ability might be somewhat useful here, because then we might be able to put the blackjack in more situations. But, oh well. Oh, anyway, so to answer the question of what do you do when you run out of classes to level up, though? You just use cards and meat items and things. By the time that you run out of classes to level up, bear in mind a lot of things are probably pushing on that particular scale. Again, the food items, cards, whatever else that you picked up along the way, those are pretty prolific. You don't see them as often in Reborn there, but in PSB, by the time you get to the end game, cards are probably the majority drop at that point. Like if you saw the level 1 run there, basically by the time you start hitting even about like pretty much the entire 30 to 50 range, that's when they start getting some of the nicer gear on their table, and they just start forgetting to actually drop loot. And honestly, it's just kind of a bit of an insult when they decide to, whether by programming error or what, drop a bag with a card in it, because that's just... It's like, basically, this is just a card without the stat bonus. It's just a dick move. But, either way... So yeah, it's just basically cards at that point. Bear in mind, skills are really going to be what you're gonna want to be using at that point. I really wouldn't worry about trying to max everybody out, because honestly, about a quarter of the way towards maxed out is already more than overpowered to actually complete the entire thing. One of the criticisms I've had of Tactics Ogre in general has probably been the fact that the kind of maximum is never really needed for much. This is half true in Reborn's case. I'm an idiot. Hold on, let's restart that real quick. Anyway, I say it's half true in Reborn's case because they changed it so that the enemies actually bother getting maxed out skills and things. And they'll actually still, have half upgraded relics and stuff like that. But they still won't necessarily be able to, like, let's say, show up with any kind of maxed out stats or whatever. And honestly, that's probably a good thing, just because, balance reasons and whatever. It just would be really unsatisfying to get later on in the game and then just find yourself in this position where, you ended up using normal units and all of a sudden they're all worthless and whatnot. So, that would just kind of suck if that happened. But anyway, all right, let's go this way. Go this direction. Wait one round. Let's see. You move forward, do your body swap. And then we just go ahead and loot this guy. Or girl, I should say. And so that they're not a bit of a problem later, shank. And then we'll restock our knives. And go over this way. As all things... Oh, right, that would explain it. Because last time, I didn't actually deactivate their thingy here. I didn't activate their tracking ability. That's why they kept constantly finding where the hell we went. I only did that on the first attempt. Grab that. Get ye butt over the spikes. Go this way, and then go this way. Just sneak on out of there with the blue key, and then we move on to the other one. Can you run by? Just about. We'll wait one turn, grab his stuff, and then head out. Alright, next order of business is going to be getting that one downstairs. I say as if this place has 2 stories. Now, I'm thinking that's probably a one-person job. So, I think we're send Elage down there. Actually, they also got the double... You know what? No, we're not doing a perfect run. Screw it. Alright. Yeah, I want to use different skill loadouts for a perfect run attempt. Okay. So you go over in this direction. He's got a little bit of a second, so I'm going to have him loot a couple of extra bags. This one needed to get there a little bit sooner in order order to deactivate this bell. But oh well. Let's go this way, this way. There, and then hopefully they should be turning around in just a moment. Wait a minute. Apparently a knife doesn't count as an ability. Oh, shoot. That's basically just a double action. It's not a restock. Oh, man. I'm just stupid. That's the difference. Anyway. Just go ahead and sit tight a moment, I guess. Yeah, I said I like stealth games. I'm not necessarily that good at them. Alright. Let's go this way now. That's going to be a reset. Anyway. Until the reset, we can at least pretend that there isn't one. So they're going to face the other way. We're going to go head down that downstairs area. Just gonna step to the side slightly. Just gonna let him blitz on out of here. Should have saved that knife. Because now we need to approach him from... well, whatever. We'll approach him from the other direction. Actually, the other guy doesn't even need to take any time. This red key's for the final phase. So he's got some time to get this key done. Or not. Right. You go here, then run here. We're gonna do this fun thing where we run into all the same problems as the last time. Okay. Run in this direction, gonna blackjack the guard, gonna run up and yoink the key, and then get out of there. Right, you're gonna hang out right here. Wait one round, and then go through that door. Bonk. Let's see, it's so annoying. Get so many cards on top of cards, and then there's cards inside the bags. Yeah, somebody was playing a very extreme game of 52 pickup down there. Let's see, maxed weapons and characters are completely unnecessary to see all the content in TO, unlike in Legend Mana, where, yeah, we don't talk about that. You're gonna be there for the next year. Alright. I'm hoping there's enough guards facing other directions so we can just blitz this. Anyway. That guy's gonna forget that he was knocked out and just head out that way. I'm thinking we're probably resetting that. Although they can't actually get in this room because we have the only key. That's kind of funny. Grab this thing. Do we have any reason to go through that path at this point? Because we can get the secrets, but at this point we should probably just get out. Although, that's actually the safer way to get out, so... here, and what I want to do is get that bell taken care of so that hopefully we can buy a little bit more time. Now the last step is just to go through that one location at the bottom. So we just pick up the malachite, get the thingamajig, get out. Same thingy. Alright, you run over this way. You stay where you are and probably be safe. I might have messed this up again, you never know. These things are just crazy like that. Let's see, if you ever need to sound completely unhinged, just start talking about the Legend of Mana crafting system. Just add a taco bug to a wooden sword and it'll replace Jab with the Apocalypse. How much would this, would you buy this cotton hat for? $2.50? What if I put a piece of weed in it? 40,000 now? Excellent. Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, that entire game is just a fever dream. It's wonderful. Hi there, hang on, how do I pronounce that? Rage Knot, I'm gonna assume? Alright, so it sounds like hopefully all the guards have gotten pissed off and started heading this direction. I don't think I'm going to be able to hit that bell. Unfortunately, the dang wizards and stuff just keep, well, sorceresses, but oh, for crap's sake. They know exactly where we are, so that's a bit of a problem. I can go hit the switch, but realistically we're about to reset. Bang. Wait, is he actually not going to shoot? I mean, I guess our alarm level's fairly low, but I really expected him to shoot there. Okay. You do you. And in that particular situation, we might actually be able to reset alarm 3 down to 0. Or it might do nothing, because it might just immediately reset to... Or it might automatically upgrade to 4 next round. Yeah, it's at 4. I need to get there one turn sooner. Unfortunately, it resets current progress, but it doesn't make everybody forget what's going on. Might be able to squeeze through here. Might. Have him turn off the tracking on the wizards here. Again, I know they're sorceresses, it's just easier to call them wizards. Okay. So... if we just do that... and just kind of head over here, maybe you can wait for some guards to pass by. And then as long as they don't have the ability to track anymore, it still gives us some options here. Shoot. I was really hoping that was a safe spot. Left the doors open too, that's even worse. This might... no, that definitely won't be a safe... Try here, I guess. It probably won't be safe. We're gonna give it a shot. Also, just to be mean, I'm gonna accidentally save their life, apparently. I was hoping that would knock them out on the spot, but it knocked them into a safer location. Okay. So yeah, the one on the bottom is probably going to be circling around. I was thinking take that spot on the left, but they might see it right now, you know? Because they might not be able to see around this candle. Let's see how it goes. that's a reset. Okay. That's interesting. I can actually still run from this. And they all seem to be swarming out that door, so that might actually work. Let's see. No, I don't want to max out characters out of a feeling of necessity for content discovery. I just want to do it for the sake of seeing those classes in action. Do a solo run as soon as I'm satisfied with the file I'm in. I mean, those options will just keep expanding. Like, you really don't need to... I mean, one of the things I've been saying on the channel for years is, like, they're designed in such a way that grind is pretty much never really necessary. I mean, you can do it. It's there as an option, but, like, it's never actually necessary. For pretty much anything. Alright, we got one guard going there. Blackjack's on cooldown. That guy is patrolling up here. I was just listening for a second. I was trying to figure what this game's music reminds me of. It's making me think of Dungeons of Dreadmore. That's what it was. I was like, what? Why does this sound so familiar? I don't know if there's any relation between the two. I really highly doubt it, but, you know, good pixel art, this kind of exact music, maybe. I mean, if somebody said there was some relation there, I wouldn't be shocked. I'm thinking that statue in the top left might be the only way to get out of here right now, because his blackjack's on cooldown. If somebody gets within a tile, there's a chance for him to fight his way out, kind of. Sorry, I hit the mute by mistake. This is exactly what the flashbang lady's great for. It's like those situations where you mess up and you just need to, like, mass run everybody. Anyway, in the meantime, that guy's gonna go and attempt to go steal the Malachite while everyone's distracted here. Maybe they'll get distracted enough to head out that direction. Alright, this should be a safer spot. Because eventually they're gonna catch on and start looking. Patrolling by. I don't see anyone looking by this table this round. So he's gonna go sneak there. Okay. There's people coming. Yeah. I will not turn down the difficulty. I'll figure out how the hell to get out of this situation eventually. It probably comes down to not being an idiot and just going and buying that dang item hooking skill. Because during the prep phase, one of the options you have is right here, where you can activate this one or you activate this one. This will let you get access to the key fairly easily, and you can deal with the map a lot easier. This gets you access to this thing. In a practical sense, it makes more sense to activate this and then use, I assume, use the hook ability to get this. Just because you can deal with the more dangerous stuff first and then do this last. moment, though, because of those spikes, this keeps messing with their pathfinding, so that's something. Might be able to run several of them into the spikes. I mean, this situation is why the first additional item they give you is the invisibility potion. Because, like, it is a one-time use thing, but basically you could just use this to run right past all this. No complications needed. This could work. Small chance of it working, but it could. And I figure I just punch them into the spikes if it doesn't work. Okay, they're getting punched in the spikes. Got it. You sort of half hide here. Okay, apparently it doesn't actually fly into the spikes. I was really hoping they would get impaled there. Kind of gruesome. But also would be quite useful. But yeah, so Blake, as far as doing a Tactics Ogre solo run, you'll notice very quickly that it basically becomes this weird moment, especially in PSP. This is very different in Reborn, but like, in PSP in particular, you'll basically have that moment where you'll be in Chapter 1 there, and it'll feel dang near impossible. And then you get to Chapter 2, and suddenly the thing's an absolute cakewalk up until you get to Chapter, like, 4. There's going to be a lot of that. And then suddenly the post-game just gets easier and easier and easier until you get brick-walled by golems and stuff like that. It's one of the strangest solos I've ever seen. Alright. Got one last attempt, and if this one doesn't happen, then I gotta get going. Unfortunately. Alright. So they're picking all kinds of different locations, but they don't actually know where we are right now. I'm gonna give one more attempt to going over here. And this guy is gonna attempt to go this direction. So while they are in pursuit, if we go for the vault, I'm hoping that'll distract some attention away. Ideally, we'd be able to pull some of that attention into their big old spiky hole trap area, but, you know. Okay. That'll work. Everybody going that way. I can't necessarily tell who's going what direction because they're going really darn far right now. Well, anyway. Well, that's about that. That'll be that one for now. Okay. Anyway, so personally, I find this one a really fun, kind of like end of the day puzzler kind of situation. But yeah, if you guys wouldn't mind, would definitely recommend giving this one a bit of a look. It's a really dang fun time. It's a nice little puzzle strategy kind of deal here, with some really nice qualities to it. Anyway, that's all I had time for today, unfortunately. So, y'all have yourselves a good one. Thank you for stopping by, and